Welcome to Telltale Thursday. Today we are going to read a folk tale, Tops and Bottoms. When we read folk tales, we are supposed to learn a lesson. Let's see what lesson can we learn from Tops and Bottoms. Tops and Bottoms was adapted and illustrated by Janet Stevens. Now let's look at our title page. On our title page again, we see the title, Tops and Bottoms, adapted and illustrated by Janet Stevens. And if we look at the very top, we can see who and where it was published. Looking at the illustrations, I can see carrots, beets. I think that looks like lettuce, celery. Are those fruits or vegetables? Or is it meat? Why did they call this Tops and Bottoms? I don't know. Let's begin our story. Once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was to sleep. Not far down the road lived a hare. Although Hare was clever, he sometimes got into trouble. He had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He had lost a risky bet with a tortoise and had sold all of his land to Bear to pay off his debt. Hare and his family were in very bad shape. The children are so hungry, Father Hare. We must think of something, Mrs. Hare cried one day. So, Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. They put their heads together? What does that mean? The next day, Hare hopped down the road to Bear's house. Bear, of course, was asleep. Hello, Bear, wake up. It's your neighbor, Hare. And I have an idea. Bear opened one eye and grunted. We can be business partners, Hare said. All we need is this field right in front of your house. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profit right down the middle. Yes, sir, Bear. We're in this together. I'll work and you sleep. Said Bear. So, what will it be, Bear? Asked Hare. The top half or the bottom half? It's up to you. Tops or bottoms? Let's see. Bear said with a yawn. I'll take the top half. Hare? Right, tops. Hare smiled. It's a done deal, Bear. So, Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. Hare planted, Mrs. Hare watered, and everyone weeded. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the tops, and I get the bottoms." Hare and his family dug up the carrots, the radishes, and the beets. Hare plucked off all the tops and tossed them into a pile for Bear, and put the bottoms aside for himself. Bottoms. Did Hare get the best part? Bear stared at his pile. But Hare, all the best parts are in your half. You chose the tops, Bear, Hare said. Now, Hare, you've tricked me. You plant this field again, and this season I want the bottoms. Hare agreed. It's a done deal, Bear. So, Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the bottoms and I get the tops." Remember last time the bottoms were carrots and radishes and beets. They were under the ground. So now this time, do you think Bear is going to get the best part? Because he said, "I want the bottoms." Hare and his family gathered up the lettuce, the broccoli, and the celery. Hare pulled out the bottoms for Bear and put the tops in his own pile. Did Bear get the best part this time? Look at the illustration. Bear looked at his pile and scowled. "Hare, you have cheated me again." "But Bear," Hare said, "you wanted the bottoms this time." Bear growled. "You plant this field again, Hare. You've tricked me twice, and you owe me one season of both tops and bottoms." "You're right, poor old Bear," sighed Hare. "It's only fair that you get both tops and bottoms this time. It's a done deal, Bear." "Would you trust Hare?" He said, "This time you're going to get the tops and the bottoms." So Bear has to get the best deal this time. He's getting both. Let's look and see. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded, then watered and weeded some more. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! This time you get tops and bottoms." Ooh, you think Bear is going to be excited? This time, he has to get the best part because he's going to get the top and he's going to get the bottom. There's no way anything could go wrong, right? Let's see. There in front of Bear's house lay a high field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every corn stalk. Hare tugged off the roots at the bottom and the tassels at the top and put them in a pile. Then he carefully collected the ears of corn in the middle and placed them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and watched. See, Bear, you get the tops and the bottoms. I get the middles. Yes, sir, Bear, it's a done deal. Ooh, how do you think Bear feels? Would you be upset? Bear got what he asked for. He asked for the tops and the bottoms. Let's see. By now, Bear was wide awake. That's it, Hare, he hollered. From now on, I'll plant my own crops and take the tops, bottoms, and middles. Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road towards home. Never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting. Hare bought back his land, and with the profit from the crops, and he and Mrs. Hare opened a stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners again. Would you want to be a business partner with Hare? Or maybe Bear? Let's go back and look at one of our pages. Let's look at this first page. It says, once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was sleep. Use the text and the illustrations on this page to describe what kind of bear is Bear. What kind of character is Bear? What are some of his traits? Try not to think about all of his physical traits, like he's black and furry. Think about, according to the text, Bear is the lazy bear. Now continue with your descriptions. Let's look at another page. On this page, let's look at it's your neighbor. I'll do the hard work. Both of these sentences began with some special kind of words. It's, I'll. What do we call those? When we take two words and do a short form of it, those are called contractions. So what two words did we need in order to make the contraction it's? What two words do we need to make the contractions I'll? Now let's look at, we can be business partners on the same page. That's in quotation marks. What does that tell us? When we see quotation marks, we is a pronoun. Instead of saying the characters' names, can you tell me who we is referring to? All we need is this field right here in front of your house. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profit right down the middle. We can split the profit right down the middle. What is here talking about? What does that mean? We can split. Are they going to get scissors and cut it in half? Is that an example of figurative language? All right, let's look at one more page. Sometimes words are used that we may not be familiar with, and instead of getting our dictionary, we can read the text and figure out, what does that word mean? Bear looked at his pile and scowled. Bear growled. You plant this field again, Hare. You've tricked me twice, and you owe me one season of both tops and bottoms. Can we use the text on this page to figure out, what does the word scowled mean and growled? Oh, is Bear doing something? When we do something, those are called verbs. On this page, we also have some more examples of contractions. Can you find the contractions? And also find out what two words were needed in order to make those contractions. The author decided Tops and Bottoms was a good title for this book. Would you have named it something else? What title would you have come up with? Do you think Tops and Bottoms is a good title? Give at least 3 reasons to support. Why do you think Tops and Bottoms is or isn't a good title for this book? All right, read again and discuss what lessons were learned, have fun, and maybe think about an alternate ending for this story. Or folktale, remember? Folktales, we learn something, we learn a lesson. Happy reading.